The sentence, I just want to be happy. You have said it, I have said it. It sounds simple, almost harmless. People say it after breakups, after promotions that somehow didn't feel like enough, after long, quiet dinners, after scrolling through someone else's perfect life. I just want to be happy. But let's slow it down for a second. The sentence is not just a wish, it carries assumptions. And in this series, that's what we are going to do. We are not going to define words, we are going to look at the beliefs hiding underneath them. Because when you say something like this, there are usually few core beliefs running in background. Not 20, not 50, usually 2 or 3 that quietly shape everything. So let's look at them. Belief number one, life should feel good if I'm doing it correctly. The first belief hiding underneath the sentence is this, like, if I'm living properly, it should feel good. And the moment it doesn't feel good, you don't just feel discomfort, you start questioning your entire life. For example, like maybe I choose the wrong field, maybe I married the wrong person, maybe I moved to the wrong city, maybe I wasted my 20s, I'm already behind, and much more. Now, notice how fast that escalates. A bad week becomes a bad decision, a low mood becomes a wrong life. That's not just emotion, that's judgment. Somewhere inside, there is a quiet rule. If life is aligned, it should feel good. So when it doesn't, you assume something is fundamentally off. You don't sit with discomfort, you audit your existence, and that's exhausting. Imagine living like that. Every ordinary day feels suspicious, every quiet season feels like regression, and every anxious thought of yours feels like evidence. No wonder you are tired. You're not just living your life, you're evaluating it constantly. Belief number two, my emotions are controlled by my circumstances. Second belief is more subtle. If something feels wrong, the environment must be wrong. So you start planning adjustments. When I change jobs, I'll feel better. When he changes, I'll finally relax. When I move abroad, I'll breathe. And when I fix my body, I'll feel confident and much more. And sometimes, honestly, it works for a while. A new job feels exciting, a new relationship feels alive, a new city feels like possibility. And then the feeling settles, the restlessness comes back, and now the doubt even gets sharper. Like, did I mess up again? Was that the wrong decision too? Am I just bad at choosing? You keep upgrading your surroundings, but the internal structure stays the same. That's not transformation, that's chasing relief. And relief doesn't last. If your emotional stability depends entirely on circumstances, you will never feel stable. Because circumstances are unstable, so the loop continues for forever. Like, you fix, you feel better briefly, you crash, you fix again. And you and you call that progress. Belief number 3. I am incomplete until I feel happy. This one is quieter, but it's the one that hurts the most. You believe that your real life has not fully started yet, that you're still becoming, still fixing yourself, still preparing, still quite not there. And one day, when you finally feel consistently happy, that's when you'll arrive. That's when you'll be complete, ready, enough. Until then, you are in transition. Now, I have a question. What if that day never comes? What if you never feel permanently there because you made happiness the recruitment? What if you've postponed your living? What if you've postponed loving your life until it feels different? Think about that carefully. How many years have you delayed being at peace because you were waiting to feel better first? How many relationships did you half show up because you assumed something bigger was coming? How many normal, ordinary days did you treat like placeholders for the real version of your life? That's not a small thing, that's years. Now, I've told you the beliefs, but the real question is how these beliefs actually form. Here is the important part. No one formally install these beliefs in you. They form through repetition. For example, when you are a child and you cry and someone says, "Don't cry, you're fine." So you learn that discomfort is something to shut down quickly. For example, when you were praised most loudly, when you look confident, happy, strong, so you learn which emotions are acceptable. When sadness makes the room awkward, you learn to manage it. When anger gets labeled dramatic, you learn to suppress it. When stay positive replaces what are you feeling, you learn that feeling bad is socially inconvenient. Over time, your nervous system picks up the pattern. Certain emotions keeps you connected, other creates tension. So you adapt. You don't decide this consciously, you start associating good feelings with safety, approval, and alignment, and bad feelings with danger, mistake, rejection. So the equation forms. Basically, this is the equation that forms inside you quietly. Good feeling is equal to I am doing life right. Bad feeling is equal to something is wrong. At first, it's just coping mechanism, but over years, it becomes identity. You don't even think about it. You just operate from it. Now, here is the uncomfortable possibility. Life was never designed to feel good all the time. It was designed to feel all of it: confusion, intensity, boredom, doubt, joy, all of it. But if you only accept the pleasant half, you're rejecting half of being human. And then I just want to be happy. It's not a simple desire, it's resistance. Resistance to the full emotional range of your own existence. So, this is not anti happiness, it's anti dependence. What if happiness is not proof that you're living correctly? What if it's a side effect, not a scorecard? What if the better question is not like, do I feel good today? But the better question can be, am I living in a way I respect even when it feels uncomfortable? That shift doesn't make your life easier, it makes you steadier. Because now discomfort is not failure, it's information. And maybe you don't need to be happy to be complete. Maybe you just need to stop putting your life on trial every time your mood changes. That's it for today. For next episode, subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.